So we're going to start off by creaming our butter. I'm going to cream it for about 3 minutes before adding the sugar. It's room temperature, but we want to get it softened just a little bit more before adding the sugar. And remember that your butter should be at room temperature. Your egg should be left out at room temperature as well. And for those persons who are saying that it's hard and it takes up a lot of time, the only time it takes up is when it's in the oven baking and your hands are free. You can do whatever you want to do and go about your business doing whatever you want to do. All right. For you to be focused, what you can do is go ahead and prepare everything in advance. So you have your flour out already, you have your sugar package out already. Everything should be packaged out and set one side until you're ready to take it up. You just grab and go. So if you are baking and you start with just the butter, you don't know where the flour is as yet and you're running around to find it, that's what makes it hard. As you can see, I have everything prepped. All right, so prepping is key. So I have here my 1 pound of flour and I added my spices, which is 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, 1 tablespoon of mixed spice, and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder. I also have 1.5 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of baking powder. I have all of that put together and then I add it to my flour and I mix it up and sift it. All right, you want to sift it so that there's no lumps at all when you're ready to bake. So now I'm going to prepare my fruits. While my butter and sugar is mixed in, I'm doing all of this. All right, so you have to know how to manage your time. So now I'm adding 2 tablespoons of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of rose water. So to get your fruit cake to the heavier, more authentic texture, you are going to use 5 cups of finely chopped fruits. Don't puree the fruits. Your cake will turn pudding if you puree the fruits. Chop it in your processor, or if you're going to use your blender, you can put it on pulse and chop it up. So as you can see, as I mentioned before about time management, my butter and sugar is still creaming because I needed to get it nice and fluffy. So while that is happening, I am preparing my fruits, my flour mixture is prepared, and I'm going to go ahead and prepare my baking pans, line them with parchment paper and grease them. And by then, my butter and my sugar will be ready. All right. As you can see, it's nice and fluffy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to gradually mix in my egg. You don't want to dump all the eggs in there at once. You want to mix them in. If you didn't mix up your egg like mine, you can just drop in your egg one by one. And in my egg mixture, I have a teaspoon of orange zest and a half teaspoon of lime zest. You just grate it and add it to your eggs. That will cut the rawness of the egg and it will also give your cake a nice flavor. So I'm just using my 1/4 cup to take up my egg mixture and add it to my creamed butter, and we're going to do that gradually until all my egg mixture is mixed in. All right, and I'm doing this on medium speed. It may seem as if it's going fast. It's because I edited the video and speed up some sections so that I don't waste your time watching this long video that is not necessary. So as soon as all my eggs are mixed in, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to combine this with my fruits. You don't have to remove it from the mixer. You can continue mixing the fruits with the mixer, but at this point, I like to just go ahead and do everything else with my hand using my wooden spoon. So I'm using the spoon to combine the fruits, and as soon as all my fruits mixture is combined, then we will go ahead and add our flour mixture. And remember, we're doing the 1 pound mixture, so I added 1 pound of sugar and I also added 12 eggs. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and fold in our flour mixture. And when I was younger and helping my aunt to bake, she always said make sure that you're mixing in one direction. So as you can see, I am going around in a circle and then I cut it in the middle. This will help your dry ingredients to be properly incorporated and you won't have any unmixed section. All right, so as everything is done, You can tell that you have a great mixture when your spoon stand in the middle like that. Once you have a wooden spoon, it should be standing like that. You know that you have a perfect fruit cake mixture. So I'm using browning. I'm testing out this browning for the first time. It's a Benjamin, but Eve, if you have Eve browning, make sure that you use Eve browning. It's one of the best. All right, and this is not an ads for them. I don't even know those people. All right, I'm just giving you all the thing that I've experienced and experiment with. I could not find any Eve browning, but one of my friend had purchased some for me. I just didn't receive them as yet, so I just decided to combine these two, and the cake did came out perfect. So I should have mentioned earlier, just in case someone is watching while they're baking, when you take off your butter and sugar after it's done creaming, you can go ahead and preheat your oven and set a water bath in the bottom of the oven. All right, I should have mentioned it earlier, but make sure that you do that. So I have my pans already lined and I already greased them. So we're going to go ahead and fill them up. This is a 9-inch pan and I have 4 of them. So this mixture will give you 4 9-inch cake. I know a lot of people always ask how many cake that you get from each mixture. So for the 1 pound mixture, you will get 4 9-inch cake. And as you can see, I'm filling it right up because this is a dense cake. You don't have to worry about it being flowing over or rising and flowing over. It's a dense cake. So no need to worry about that. And when you're baking a lot of cake in the oven, some of them will probably sink if you don't switch them around. So if you want, you can switch them around in the oven when they're baked halfway through. All right, so that they don't sink. But in most instances, when you have a lot of cake in the oven and the heat is not passing through evenly, it will sink. So to prevent that, you can go ahead and switch around the cakes so that they can bake evenly. And I know some people love to open the oven to look at the cake every minute. Don't open your oven, just turn the light on so that you can watch your cake bake if that's what you want. But until it reaches an hour or over, don't open your oven at all. All right? So the cakes are out. I have my oven preheated at 250 degrees and I always bake my cake at either 250 or 280 because I like when they slow bake. I don't want them to bake too fast at a high temperature and then the cake is dry and not properly soaked. So here they are and they were so good. I have this the first set that you watch me just mix. I will show you the result of that one because these are 2 batches and they're all mixed up right now. But for the first batch that I bake, this one right here is from that mixture. All right, and this is how I love my cake. I don't like it too black, but someone requested their cake really black. So for the second batch, I added more browning, which I will cut in my second clip to show you that color. So this is from the second batch. I bake 2 for myself, 1 from each batch to keep in my house for Thanksgiving. And as I tell you, they already went through one of the tin. So this is the second one and this cake was also good. The only difference from the first batch is more browning. It's the same mixture, same amount of fruits, and it's the same 1 pound mixture. All right, so let me know if you think this is an easier tutorial, that you think you will be able to make this cake. I promise you, you can. You just have to believe in yourself and enjoy your holidays.